Today, during lunch, we had a tip that they want to arrest my advocate, my lord. That's intimidation tactics.
Just seconds after the judge adjourned proceedings, police officers were in court to cuff TEFFO.
They arrest me because I'm in this case. Okay. That's the reason.
Is this why you're arresting him?
Yeah. The Gitera doesn't want me in this case. You see? That's the reason. He's got a warrant of arrest from January. Why he didn't accept?
What are the charges?
I really don't know, but I read the warrant of arrest. There was a warrant of arrest. I don't know against which charges, but she was supposed to appear in court previously and the warrant was authorized. However, what is unfair is that they served at the wrong time and at the wrong place. The branch commander or the detective head, together with the chief prosecutor, should have arranged.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. Since the release of the Netflix documentary on Senzo Meyiwa's death and the beginning of the trial of his murder suspects, I've conducted my own independent research, so I just wanted to jump on here today and connect a few pieces I picked up on, which will shed more light into who Advocate TEFFO is and how he got involved in this case. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. The Senzo Meyiwa documentary ended with the Meyiwa family at loggerheads over their legal representation, and it's beginning to look increasingly like this is a conspiracy to frame the 5 accused and Kelly Khumalo for Senzo's murder. I'm not saying Kelly is completely innocent in this, and there is an alternative theory to what actually occurred in that house after Longwe arrived, which I will also get into. As we've discussed before, the introduction of Gerinel and AfriForum to this case accelerated the theory that Kelly Khumalo hired the 5 accused to assassinate Senzo, but I strongly believe the police and AfriForum have colluded to pin this crime on these people. This was also a point of contention for Senzo's brother, as he has intimate knowledge of the case, which endorses the theory that Longwe was the one who killed Senzo. This is where Advocate TEFFO comes in. It would appear that the sister of one of the accused and Senzo's brother, Sifiso Meyiwa, have combined forces and retained TEFFO's services with the sole purpose of pursuing the theory that there was no robbery and one of the people in the house was the shooter. In December of last year, 2021, Advocate TEFFO spoke to the media about intimate details of the case, implicating Becky Cele in a conspiracy to cover up the true events of Senzo Meyiwa's murder. I will add clips from that interview at the end of the video so you can hear the accusations from the horse's mouth confirming that the police plan to pin this crime on Kelly and the 5 accused. This brings us to yesterday's events in court, where Advocate TEFFO was arrested in the courtroom shortly after proceedings were adjourned. I watched the live stream of the trial yesterday, and needless to say, Advocate TEFFO did an impeccable job casting doubt over the state's evidence. But for the police to make a spectacle of his arrest in a courtroom in front of news cameras, to even arrest him in the first place, fuels the conspiracy rumors that the police have something to hide in this case. Now let's get into the alternative theory I alluded to earlier. In court yesterday, during the cross-examination of the leading forensic officer in this case, Advocate TEFFO mentioned that all the witnesses who were in the house when Senzo died spent the night at Chico Twala's home. Now this shifts attention back to the theory that Longwe Twala, Chico Twala's son, was responsible for Senzo's death because they had the opportunity to collude back at Chico Twala's house after the murder. In the December interview, Advocate TEFFO shared the inconsistencies he had uncovered in the witness statements and suggested that most of the Longwe theory is true in that Senzo and Longwe did get into a scuffle, but Senzo overpowered Longwe. According to Advocate TEFFO, someone else picked up Longwe's gun after it got loose in the fight and fired the fatal shots that killed Senzo. It is my belief that if not Longwe, one of the Khumalo women fired the fatal shots that killed Senzo. I have also uncovered an article which alleged that Kelly's sister Zandi had gunshot injuries to her feet, which might also line her up as a suspect and explain why Kelly has guarded the events of that night so closely. The Senzo Meyiwa murder trial has adjourned till the end of May, so we patiently wait and see if true justice will be done. I've included the clips of Advocate TEFFO's December interview with the news relevant to everything we've discussed in this video. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial so far and Advocate TEFFO's arrest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR.
So the brother of the deceased, it was in 2020, after October. So I've accepted the mandate, then I started to assist insofar as I can. So during my time of assisting, I started to do my job. Then there was serious hostility that erupted between myself and the police. And here I'll be specific. I'm referring to the Minister of Police and the National Commissioner, General Sitole and the Minister Pikitel. So they were the one that wanted me to terminate my mandate. And very unfortunate situation emanated from there to the extent that the police were ordered to arrest me for frivolous issues that you wouldn't believe that one can be arrested to them. So that was coercing me to terminate the mandate of being the watching brief. So there were two theories in these two cases, Bongi, whereby the first theory of the when I say first theory, is in reference to the case 636 of October 2014, the initial case, whereby it was alleged that when Senzo was shot, there were intruders. People entered the house. And then, still on that one, there is also other theory of, on the same case, there's a theory of people, two people entered the house. One had a firearm, one had a knife. And then there was also theory of Senzo was shot by mistake. Then case number 2, which was opened in 2019 by Lieutenant Colonel Buteleze and Warrant of Samakubu. Their theory was that no intruder on the 26th of October 2014, no one entered that house. There were 8 adults in the house, including the deceased. And I'm not counting the children. So 2 cases with a different theory, 2 set of deductive, somewhere during May, June 2020. There was supposed to be arrest under case number 375 of January 2019, under the case of Buteleze and Makubu. Why arrest and how was it going to happen? The arrest was going to happen to the 7 people who were in the house when Senzo was shot. And then subsequently, the team of Sitole interfered or came in, I don't know the relevant way to use, but stopped the contemplated arrest of those 7 people. What do they say? They say, no, don't arrest those people. There are people. There are people who are supposed to be arrested. For your information, there was a press conference on the 13th of December at the University of Pretoria. There is a video that is circulating on YouTube. I was there, and the Fiso was there, and Mapisa was there. Mapisa is the younger sister of one of the arrested people. For your information, after the 13th of December, let me say specifically on the 14th, I was myself and my team, we were given instructions that these 5 people now, for your information and for the benefit of the viewers' information, they are now our clients. So there is nothing that is a conflict of interest here. Remember, I'm a watching brief on Meyiwa's family. Now, the arrested people are uniquely that alleged to be the killers of Senzo, Robert Meyiwa, are my client now. Yesterday, I spoke to the leading investigating officer in the 636, being the Brigadier Kininda. I'm talking to you now on the 28th of this month. We are going to have a meeting. The defense of the 5, the prosecution, and the police, whereby we are going to talk about, it cannot be that in the same scenario of murder, there are 2 theories, and there are 2 groups, and there are 2 different cases. So one case of the wrong theory, which does not give a sense to the public and the international community, it must fall. And this case that has got a genuine theory, which is saying nobody entered that house, that case must remain. And once that case remains, which is a 375, the relevant people must be arrested now, which are under 375. There's a contemplation of 7 people must be arrested, not 5 people, 7 people, because they saw what happened. And those people have incriminated themselves in the sense that the people are not, they say, yes, we saw Senzo. We saw what happened to Senzo. And there were even this contradictory theory from the same group saying that firstly it was Senzo was shot by mistake. Then when we are still listening to, there will be explanation of how did mistake happen. Then there were 2 people entered in the house to rob, with the intention to rob. So now, what did they rob? Who did they rob? And then thereafter, there is now the theory of mastermind. October 2020, Minister Pekikele went to the Meyiwa family in Umlas, and he told the mother that the so-called mastermind is Kelly Kumar, the whole minister. And we don't understand on what capacity did the minister go to Umlas and tell Ms. Meyiwa that Kelly Kumar is the mastermind that we are talking about in case number 636. And then why Kelly Kumar is not arrested today is that 7 people who were in the house on the 26th of October 2014, they have to go to court and explain to the nation what happened to Senzo on that day. Because why I'm saying this, it is a known fact, it's undisputed, that the murder weapon was brought by one of those people, 7 people. And the 2 bullets were shot in that house, one on the floor, and the second one ended up grazing the chest of the deceased. See? And just to make, as you say that, today people must sleep doing homework. 2 bullets that have been shot, and 1 shot by the person who brought the murder weapon. And the second bullet was not shot by the same person. Make your homework.
Okay, Advocate TEFFO, wait. Let's clarify this. You're saying there's 1.
The murder weapon brought by someone of the 7th who came late and shot on the ground because there was something that he wanted to know. He didn't get the right answer. And then after the shot on the floor, there was a scuffle. But for that scuffle, Bongi, there was no accidental firearm shooting. There was no discharging of the firearm accidentally. The scuffle to disarm the person who brought the firearm in the house was successful. It happened without any discharging. The owner of the firearm was disarmed firearm successfully, no discharging of the firearm. And then the firearm, let me be direct. Actually, the scuffle was between the deceased and the person who brought the firearm, who came with the firearm. And then the deceased overpowered the person who brought the firearm. And there were others who approached to assist. And then the firearm ended up in the hand of someone. So as I said that, there was no accidental discharge during the scuffle. And when this firearm discharged for the second bullet, it was after maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes after the scuffle is done. So now, as to is a mistake or deliberate, that's the answer that needs to be informed. That's the answer that needs to be told in the court. Minister Kele was appointed by Ramaphosa on the 26th of February 2018, while he was the the so-called caretaker president. He appointed him to be the Minister of Police, 2018, Mr. Ramaphosa. Immediately after his appointment, Minister Kele called everybody who was involved in the investigation of this matter, for which, for your information, BZ, this matter has been investigated by more than 70 people. So he called all those who were involved and he said, tell me the progress. How far are you? What is happening with this case? They told him what they told him, then he was not happy. He said, we are all fired on this matter. I'm now appointing Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi and Warrant Officer Makubu from the Hawks. This thing was supposed to have been done by the Deputy National Commissioner overseeing the detective in the police, not the minister. Why should the minister be involved in the operations of the police? If you check, I written the letter to the president yesterday that Minister Pekitele has violated Section 96 of the Constitution by involving himself in this case, in these two cases in particular. Why would you fire the police? Where are you related to the police operation as a minister? Your job, your duty is to be in the parliament